Many rappers have been sharing their love for Young Thug after the latest outburst by the judge in the case went viral. It would be reported the judge went off on prosecutor Love, saying, "It is baffling to me that somebody with the number of years of experience that you have, time after time continues to seemingly purposely hide the ball for as long as you can. And I really don't want to believe that it is that purposeful, unless it is, that you are so unorganized that you are throwing the case together as you try it." Judge then had to leave the bench to go take some deep breaths.
I mean, I can't figure out what it is. If it's disingenuous, if it is that, I mean, I don't want to, the prosecutor standing in front of me right now, so I'm not going to say the possible things that it could be, but it is baffling to me that somebody with the number of years of experience that you have, time after time after time, continues to seemingly purposefully hide the ball to the extent you possibly can for as long as you possibly can. And I really don't want to believe that it is purposeful, but honestly, after a certain number of times, you start to wonder how it could be anything but that, unless it is just that you are so unorganized that you are throwing this case together as you try it.
As this would end up going viral online, even getting the attention of 42 Doug.
Have you been tapped into the YSL case at all, and how do you think that's been?
I've been trying to watch a little bit.
Do you think it's being mishandled?
I think it should have been dismissed. The shit with the judge that just happened was
that just happened.
Crazy, like trying to send his lawyer to jail. From the outside looking in, it's looking like they got something against him.
As the judge is finally calling out prosecutor Love for not even understanding how to do her job. Her job is to simply display evidence against Young Thug and bring witnesses to the stand to confirm the evidence. It is that simple. But the judge would even confirm that the jury is completely lost and the prosecutor isn't doing her simple job at all.
A, if it can't be deciphered, then I don't think we need to hear it 3 times. It's indecipherable. But B, Ms. Love just asked Investigator Gaither and she said she understood it. It was clear. So I don't know why we're rehashing it.
It's not really whether Miss Sergeant Gaither can understand it or not. I mean, the evidence is being presented so that the jury can absorb it. And I don't know whether the jury can understand what's being said on it or not. Can y'all understand what's being said? Some of them can, some of them can't.
As the judge in the case is definitely getting fed up. She's been a lot more angry than usual in the last few days. Reports would be sharing that the YSL RICO trial is getting investigated by state officials on possible case corruption. It would be reported, watch the judge open her mouth here. Is she signaling DA Love to make an objection? Then she leads Love to keep going until she gets the objection right. What exactly is going on in Fulton County? And is this what our system has come to?
Do you appreciate that sitting here today, your lies have caused Yak tremendous amounts of problems?
Question. Objection improper. Vague speculation. Relevance.
Sustained.
As this is the 3rd judge that we have gotten in the YSL RICO trial. The last 2 had to end up quitting because the YSL RICO trial was too stressful. There has been a conspiracy about this new judge being placed in. There is rumors that the judge is allegedly helping the prosecutors so then the YSL team can be taken off of the streets for good. As what happened next was very concerning. A tweet would share, "So it's okay for Adrian Love to show images to the jury underhandedly." As you can see, the judge is looking at prosecutor Love, who is holding a piece of paper of evidence to the jury and holding it still for several seconds. Very clear as day, showing them the evidence that was also later denied to be shown to the jury, even though they have already saw it illegally. This is when Thug's lawyer would finally have enough. Miss Love would object one of Thug's lawyer's statements and he would have enough.
Your Honor, objection.
Do you view that as a benefit?
Hang on.
Okay, I'm asking him if he views
I
that
know,
as
and
a
there's an
benefit.
objection on the floor, which I haven't been able to hear yet, so wait and let me hear
My
it.
apologies, Your Honor.
So objection as to misrepresentation, vagueness, when the question is, do you think it's a benefit to you?
But the funniest of it all was that even the judge was getting annoyed moments later of having to help out prosecutor Love. When Love would try objecting again for literally the 30th time within an hour, the judge would just have enough, told her to stop talking and left the stand.
But Ms. Love, your objection was sustained, so.
That's really all there is to it.
Your Honor, I think the main thing to it is that Mr. Sharp he talked.
Miss Love, I'm going to take a bathroom break, okay? I haven't had one for the last couple of times that everybody else has.
As higher-ups in the court system are now starting to investigate the YSL RICO trial, which could definitely result in Thug being released. To understand Young Thug's release date, you first need to hear how the judge was flip-flopping on a mistrial decision, as her opinions from the stage of the case changed dramatically from the beginning of the court day until the end. When it would be announced, Judge denies the motion for mistrial, saying that she doesn't think that there was anything bad, but agrees that the questioning could have been confusing and asks Miss Love to clarify
what the line of questioning was, and so a valid objection, it remains sustained, but the motion for mistrial is denied. I am not giving any kind of instruction. You can just fix it by asking the next one.
As the judge would end up denying the mistrial at the beginning of the day, until further realizing the prosecutors, they don't know what they're doing. This is when they brought in Quindarius Zachary to the stand, as they are relying heavily on Quindarius bringing some sort of evidence against Young Thug. But they got nothing close to it, as Quindarius Zachary would open up his statement by hitting on an attractive investigator and asks her to be the one to supervise him at his hotel tonight.
For you to whichever hotel this is, they end up putting. Can it be what? I don't know whether it's going to be that particular investigator or not. It might be, it might not be. It's not going to be up to me.
As the judge thought it was funny at the beginning, sure, but what happened next, you can tell the judge was starting to get annoyed. This is when it was reported QZ says that he no longer even wants his lawyer because he feels like he is working for them, the state. He said that he doesn't think he needs a lawyer at all and he'll be back on Monday without one.
You don't want that lawyer anymore. All right, well, let me say this. When you come back on Monday, it may be that you want a lawyer. You don't feel like you need any kind of lawyer whatsoever. So what if things change on Monday? All right.
As this is where the judge would just have enough of the prosecutor witness, she would end up kicking Quindarius Zachary off of the stand, telling him to get lost, as it would be this moment when Thug's lawyer would then submit another motion for a mistrial, and the judge would use different words than what she used at the beginning of the day.
All right, I'm going to look back at what the transcript says. I mean, and Ms. Love, you may, given that there's now a motion for mistrial on the floor, in assertion that you did things purposefully, you may respond to that.
I vehemently object to the mistrial. I vehemently object to any mistrial, and I beg the court to look at the transcript and see what I said right before I asked him the people that I just mentioned. And I would ask that the court deems it appropriate that such language is gross and all of the disparaging remarks made by counsel for the defendants are appropriate. That's one thing, but I'd ask that the court limit that type of behavior, which is, not becoming of officers of the court.
I agree with that. It is not becoming.
Not denying it on the spot like she was at the beginning of the day, because it's very clear these prosecutors should not be in a case this large. However, what truly won the mistrial talks over was just moments later, when the judge would call on the prosecutors to bring the next witness to the stand, as on this particular court day, it was a witness stand day, meaning the prosecutor had to fill the witness stand with tons of witnesses to give up evidence against Young Thug. However, the prosecutors only had Quindarius Zachary, who was kicked off of the stand within 20 minutes, as the judge would begin screaming.
One of the things I wanted to inquire of one of our investigators about their efforts to secure one of the witnesses and the difficulty that we have had with respect to that witness. I expect that witness will be coming in. It's the one that we've been discussing, but I think it's pertinent information.
Not right now. And frankly, it doesn't matter.
If you have a particular witness, what you have been instructed is to have enough witnesses to fill the day. Okay, so if one witness is difficult, then you need to have another one lined up. Let's get the jury, please.
The only person they had was QZ from earlier. This is then when the official report of breaking news, YSL attorney Max puts Fani Willis' office on notice that if they put Quindarius Zachary back on the stand and he gets sick before cross-examination, then it will be a mistrial.
It's going to lead to me asking for a mistrial again. And the state is on notice at this point that by calling Mr. Zachary in this state, and I don't know what his state is, but they seem to know. They are on notice that something could happen. And I'm not the one calling him to the stand, but if his direct testimony comes in or his prior statements come in and I don't have a chance to confront him about those lies, we are not going to have a fair trial. And I'm just putting it on the record now so everyone knows what my stance on that is.
However, this is where the trial would get scary. A report would share, YSL judge admits that the case is headed to mistrial, but yet she won't grant one.
All right, if we don't even know what's being said, then
We do know what's
Mistrial
being
waiting to
said, Your
happen.
Honor. It is
Well,
not a
This is a mistrial waiting to happen.
Your Honor, if I may.
Go ahead.
Judge, we started.
As the judge is practically admitting the case should be a mistrial, but yet she refuses to grant it. This does make the case corrupt, which will lead into an investigation, as what happened inside of the courtroom was unbelievable. When a tweet would share, witness tells the DA she doesn't intimidate him at all and to stop treating him like her child.
You can answer first, and I will let you explain. But I need you to answer yes or no.
But could you stop yelling at me like I'm your child or something? I'm not your child.
You are not.
You talking aggressive to me. You don't intimidate me. All them guys over here. So if you would have came to me and asked me this, I'd have told you the same thing. What if they was in my face or not in my face? I'm not scared of them or you.
I don't want you to be.
Well, that's what you acting like it. That's what you acting like you trying to paint.
So do you want me to bring my voice down? And I apologize
Don't
if it
holler at
sounds
me.
like
I
I'm
ain't your
yelling.
child. Could I take a break? Y'all in the car.
No, we've had so many breaks this
Yeah,
morning. We
'cause
really need to get through this.
As the prosecutors are currently being exposed, which would usually be a mistrial for case corruption, but the judges somehow refuse it. This would be later confirmed in a viral clip that shared. Young Thug started laughing after YSL Woody tried to ask him if he had issues with Rich Homie Quan from the witness stand.
Yes, no, I don't recall. Did Thug have an issue with Rich Homie Quan bringing members of IFCAN to his apartment?
Did you have issue with Rich Homie?
I'm asking you for what you told the police.
And I'm answering you. I just told you several times. I tell the police anything.
Okay. Do you recall talking about...
As YSL Woody was brought to the witness stand by the prosecutors, meaning they were supposed to teach YSL Woody what he's allowed to say and what he's not allowed to say. Screaming across the courtroom is something he is not allowed to do. But 3 days before the passing of Rich Homie Quan, he even spoke about YSL Woody becoming a snitch in the YSL trial and even taking the stand for the prosecutor.
What do you feel about his statements being said about him basically up your dad's barbershop?
What is a liar? The barbershop did get up, but it wasn't like, I don't want to talk much to it, but it wasn't like he has over exaggerated it, because the same day the barbershop got it was up and running. So it couldn't have been like what he said it was. So we're gonna hold that down. Shout out to Woody. But niggas know.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
As we would then see YSL Woody react to Rich Homie Quan calling him a liar.
You know, your trial's going viral. On the trial, you said you and Threat was sliding and y'all Rich Homie Quan barbershop.
Yeah, like Rich Homie said, I was just lying.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on Rich Homie Quan passing?
Yeah.
It's sad, man. It's sad. Rich Homie had a lot of potential. You feel me? Like, he just made the wrong choice in the past. What could have that hurt his career. And he didn't have to make that choice. But sometimes people gotta learn how to stand up for themselves. Don't be intimidated by no group of people. Cause them group of people, man, they ain't no man for real. You feel me? That's why they a group of people. All you had to do is stay by yourself. He would have been successful. He would have been bigger than what he was.